Hey everybody, happy full moon lunar eclipse day. How's everybody feeling? I was told via astrologers, I don't totally know what I'm talking about, but July 2nd and today were very significant, so pay attention to what's going on in your life. Anywho, so I got to talking about it this morning, and for some reason to a friend, and I wanted to talk about erotic reflexology. And what is it, for those of you who don't know, and yeah, all that fun stuff. So I'm Jenna, by the way, for anyone who's new here. I am a sensuality, sex and money coach for women. And you might say, why sex and money? But they go together for me. It's essentially your power, so that's why they go together. I teach women, or rather guide them, into their fullest divine feminine expression that's soft and surrendered, and that leads to better sex, bigger orgasms, and usually more money in like a fun aligned way. So that's me, erotic reflexology. So I work with, I don't actually touch anybody's vagina, but I work with the vagina all the time, because I went through this journey myself. And so it's like near dear to my heart. And I think everybody needs to know this stuff. So erotic reflexology is how sex is medicine. So I'm not going to show the picture, but it's something that I do in my live course, Pleasure. But basically, for those of you who don't know acupuncture reflexology, that is my background. I am actually a chiropractor, so I am all about alignment and women's wellness. Like, that's what I did. But I actually like the dark wellness. I like working on sex and money with women because that's where the real healing needs to occur so that their body can actually heal. That's what I found in my work, so that's why I'm here. So everywhere in the body through applied kinesiology, which is linked to acupuncture also, is linked to something else. So for example, the liver is where we store anger, and the liver has different points all over the body that are associated with it. It also happens to be the point of the G-spot. So, and all in the vagina are acupressure, are points. Since we can't needle in there, we use massage or techniques or tools like a crystal wand or something, but even a real, phallic item that belongs to a man. I don't know if Facebook's going to get mad at me for all this talking about that. Any of those basically massage all of the points during sex, which affect the rest of the body. Orgasms that stimulate different parts of the vagina also stimulate the other parts of the body, or help release the things trapped in the body through that. So that's why I say sex is medicine, because it literally affects the whole body and your emotional system. Some very important parts are the kidney and bladder, the liver, and the heart. So the heart is the cervix, the opening to the heart. The heart open creates cosmic orgasms. And like my friend said this morning, she goes, oh my God, the cervix looks like a black hole. And it does. It looks like, and a vagina looks like, well, lots of things on Earth. But if you look at the cosmos, if you look at a galaxy, it does look like a vagina. So anyway, all kinds of like fun relations. But so those are some of the like really important parts that I touch on when we look at healing trauma and healing through sex. So erotic reflexology is literally using sex as medicine, leaning into the surrender, leaning into submission for the feminine energy. And when I say masculine, feminine, I don't mean gender. This is for anybody. Even if you don't Like whomever you prefer can use these concepts. It's not limited to a man and a woman necessarily. So, yeah, using sex as medicine will stimulate the rest of the body. So that's what erotic reflexology is. I teach it way more in depth in my course Pleasure, which is coming out in August 6th, so in a few weeks. Yeah, not very many people know these things or teach them. I found them out on my journey through my own self-healing and kind of awakening to that. And also like pain. A lot of women have pain during sex. And they just think that that's just how it is. And it actually doesn't have to be there. And you can, unless there is something, if you are having pain and you haven't been seen by a doctor, I would highly recommend that you just get checked out to make sure everything's fine. However, if it's a pain that's just always been there and it's been checked out, most likely it's emotional because all of these points are in the vagina. Anything that you have going on, let's say you have a fight with your boyfriend or your husband or your partner, and you will feel that in your vagina, especially when you become aware to your body, and like one time it feels good and the next time and there's pain, you're like, ow, what is that? Or these unresolved issues, these unresolved traumas, they can be new or they can be old. Like I've noticed that I literally, like if something emotional is going on in my life or something's going on, I will have a new pain. And you can literally transmute it via erotic alchemy. And I can teach how to do it too. So you don't have to live with painful intercourse. And I used to have pain on intercourse, especially certain positions, and I don't anymore. I used this work that I am sharing with you. And it's about not avoiding the pain. It's surrendering to it. It's breathing into it. You don't have to know what it was necessarily, but a lot of times you do figure it out intuitively. But yeah, you don't have to have pain. The pain, when transmuted, becomes deeper pleasure. So I'll wrap this up. I don't want to do as long as I did yesterday, but erotic reflexology is using sex as medicine because the whole body can be found energetically through a woman's vagina. And that's also why I always say, like, don't ignore yourself. A lot of women don't self-pleasure. A lot of women just put sex on the back burner, especially when we become mothers and wives and business owners. Like, we put that way on the back burner, and it's actually potent medicine that we're denying ourselves. And this is one of the reasons why I say that, is because it is so healing and can be so pleasurable and awakening, and we deny ourselves. And it's a big part of healing the feminine, is not denying yourself pleasure. Like, pleasure is fuel for the feminine, and there's a big epidemic of self-denial. And I was like queen of self-denial, of denying myself good things in life and sex and money, like all over the place. It was just denied, and that feels yucky. So if you're doing that in any way, shape, or form, you can ask yourself why. Like, I started asking myself why did I feel I deserved to not have pleasure, So yeah, lean into sex as medicine. And if these things like bring up triggers for you, good. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with what I have to say. I'm just saying it. But if it does trigger you, triggers are a good thing. Lean into that and ask, what is there in that I am rejecting? What part of me is angry at that statement? What part of me maybe actually wants that and I won't let myself have it? So especially because we were talking about taboo things, if it's bothering you, or you're like, she's crazy, or I don't believe that's true, that's good. Question it, lean into it. Self-discovery, self-awareness. Yeah, I think that that's a beautiful thing. So if it is triggering at all to you, I mean, that's good on my end. I like triggering people because that's where healing occurs. So lean into that. And I don't like triggering people, but I know that triggers are healing. They can be very healing if you know how to look at them. There is always a lesson in our shadow self in the trigger. That's more what I mean. Look at what you're denying in yourself in the trigger. So yeah, you can work with me privately. I have 6-month packages where I intuitively guide you through various tons of tools, but into more you, better sex, more embodied feminine, like the embodied unleashed you that has mind-blowing sex, completely transforms your relationship with yourself and everyone else, and more money. And it is $11K pay in full or $2K a month. So that's my one-on-one. But right now also, if that's not an option for you, you can take my course Pleasure, which is a 7-week course on opening up your power through pleasure. So it is a lot about sex, but it's actually like the really deep energetic work also that I used personally to take myself from dead vagina syndrome to cosmic cervical orgasms. So if that's something you want to experience for yourself, then join us in that live course. And I will post the link in the comments. We start August 6th. You get access to me in the Facebook group. And yeah, it's going to be super amazing. The world needs more empowered women that stand in their sexual power and their fullness and their softness and their confidence. So have a happy lunar eclipse day, everybody. See you around.